I'm back in my bag, I know they missing me. You know I go harder till they finish me. I wake up and grind, they try to limit me. Highway to heaven, you know we by high intensity. I'm back in my bag, I know they missing me. You know I go harder till they finish me. I wake up and grind, they tryna limit me. Highway to heaven, you know we by high intensity. Sundays with Justin, Mondays we hustling, Tuesdays still training, by Wednesday it's draining, shot wet like it's raining. It's not though, try to knock me off my pivot, I'm straight to the block though. I can't do no pump fake, still watch out for the block though. I'm not your average player, I'm all-star status. Give all y'all answers, not no ball hog, faster jump shot, look synthetic, but it's all natural. Body full of ice like I got back from
What's up, y'all? It's Coach Justin. We're here again at the Sit Down Podcast. We have two very, very special guests. We got my guy T-Cone and Sayeed Pridgett. How y'all doing today?
Good.
So let's start off by T-Cone. Let's start with you, man. Tell us a little bit about your backstory, about when you were younger, growing up, where you were born and raised, and we'll go from there.
Okay, I was born small little city outside of Monroe called Mangum.
Monroe, Louisiana?
A little outside of Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay.
Little small school, single A school. 3 sports, basketball, track, and baseball. I was a 2-sport standout, football player. Football and basketball for 3 years. I started as a freshman in football.
What position?
Free safety and.
Oh, you was hitting, huh?
Yeah, I played. We played an unbalanced offense, so I was like a flanker.
Okay.
Like a running back flanker. So I ended up. Got recruited by a lot of big name schools, not knowing Tennessee State, the Vols. Come to find out, I turned down some scholarships, and I found out that my mom was actually hiding my scholarships to the big name schools, but she didn't want to leave my home. So I ended up walking on the local school.
How long after did you find out about that?
I was actually grown and moved to California. My dad told me about it.
What?
And
how do you feel about that in hindsight? Like,
I mean,
I know it's mom, so we can't get too mad at moms, but it's like, damn.
I mean, when she told me, when they told me, I was like, for real, mom, you did me like that? But she never wanted me to leave home, but I actually ended up leaving anyway, so.
So you mentioned the move to California. Talk about that a little bit. What drove you out here? And
so actually.
How old were you at this point?
So I did 3 years at NLU. It was Northeast Louisiana University. It's now converted to ULM Warhawks.
Okay.
University of Louisiana in Monroe. So I went there. I started off, walked on playing football. I didn't like it. I had a cousin there, my older cousin. He was RA assistant at the college.
Okay.
So I went to him. So he's like, okay, you don't have to do that. So I ended up walking on the basketball team.
Okay.
And for the record, politics has been big in sports even before he was born. They had some kids over there. Elvin Hayes, great network. His nephew was he played for the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
His nephew played there, Arthur Hayes, and they had a couple of cats there that was rivals of mine in high school. So we went over and met my cousin. He ended up going to the Navy. My cousin Derek. We were better players than the kids that they recruited, but we also were recruited by them. So on the JV team in college, we would beat them out, and the coaches would get upset. So I'm like, man, I can't do this. So I played like 2 years, and they kept me on JV. I was like, man, things was getting rough for my parents. And I was just like, I got a better way because I had to come to California. The 70s.
For what?
My family, my mom, 3 older sisters live out here.
Gotcha.
And I had an older cousin out here that we kind of stayed in contact with. So I came out in the summer of '85, and I hung out. I was trained, still worked out.
So you came with the intent to still play sports?
Yeah, I came in the summer of '85. I was in college because I graduated in 1983. I came out with all the top football players in Louisiana that made it to the league. Toby Cassidy, William Johnson, Michael Brooks, Bubby Bristol, a lot of these dudes that played in the NFL. I should have been there too. So I ended up moving here. That came that summer and visit, and it was training, worked out. So I went back home, and my pops was a construction worker. He was in a local union, and my mom worked at a pants factory. A lot of people understand with those Jabot jeans and Jordashes. My mom was one of the ones that was in that era when they designed. So
they had Jabot back then?
Then,
for real?
Yes, in the late 70s, yeah. So my mom was one of the ones that did it. It was a pants factory. So they ended up shutting the pants factory down, and things started getting rough. So they ended up shutting it down. My mom didn't have work. My dad wasn't working. He was unemployed. And my mom ended up getting a job at the hospital. So I was like, man, my sister only had but at the time, I'm going to college, so I got hustling. I'm hustling cash from out of town, shooting pool. I got little grants and stuff in college. So at the end of the day, I was just like, man, I got some cousins. Well, my homeboys out here that I had met when I was out there with my cousin, they were sending me money home. Mm-hmm. They were sending me money from out there, from out here actually in California. And I actually was just saving the money. My mom didn't know I was getting money for it, but I was going to pick up the money. They were sending me like $1,500 a month. So that's a lot of money in Louisiana. So I was like, you know what? When the shit got rough for them, I was like, you know what? All right, I'm out. I had bought me a car like I was living in California, Moms didn't know what I was doing, but I wasn't doing nothing wrong. They were just looking out for me. Right. So when the shit got rough, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just make it easy. So I gave my mom my money. I never will forget. December 27th, 1985, I gave my mom my last $4,000. She's like, what you do? I said, I'm moving to California. I left, got on the plane, flew into San Francisco to Delta Airlines. 3 of the homies picked me up. I never will forget it. A white 5.0. Picked me up from there, brought me to Mr. Z's on the East Mall. Took me there and bought me all the latest West Coast flavor in Oakland.
For real?
The Adidas sweatsuits, the Puma with the fat laces. I came with nothing.
Got you right, huh?
Got me right. I had you know what I mean? So from that on, everything changed. I took flight in the streets. Nothing to brag about. I like to share that with a lot of the cats that I come across with that. I had some tragedy in the streets, man. Lost a lot of friends, had a lot of money. At the end of the day, like I say, I came here, did the streets. I ended up having my older son. He was a hell of a baseball player.
How long after you here did you have him?
I was here. I came here. So I ended up getting him 3 years later. Okay. I actually kept going back and forth to Louisiana. And my grandfather took sick in 1987. Okay. I'm the oldest grandkid. My dad is the oldest kid. And so he took sick. Actually, I went home that March for my sister's prom with her. Actually, my granddad got sick and he requested me to come home. So I ended up going down there and ended up hooking up with some of my old classmates, my homeboys. They was like family to me. Played a couple they call it semi-pro basketball games with them. So partying, hanging out at the university, and wasn't getting enough rest. I was there for 4 days, and out of the 4 days, I was like getting 4 hours night sleep. So my body took the rest. So I actually, the night before I got ready to come back home, we had went and played in a tournament about 10, 15 miles from where I grew up, and then I went back about 35 miles where I went to school at in my mom's car that I had bought for her in '86. But that was one of my things that I said. My mom, she always wanted a Cutlass. So I went and came back and did what I did out here and bought her a brand new car. So I actually came that night, and I should have just stayed. But I know how my mom was so, she's so about her car and stuff. So I was like, all right, I got up. So I got up about, we had been playing. I wasn't drinking or nothing. My body was just tired. I got up and took off and headed home. And I fell asleep, and I broke my hip.
What?
Just fell asleep, man. I never forget I had which one of those Jordan? I forgot the name of them.
The white cement Jordan 3s.
Yeah. Okay. So I had everything on, the tights, like I was in physical fit. I was my body was right. Nothing different him,
Right.
So I actually fell asleep. In Louisiana, they got those big water covens where you drive the driveway and they actually have a steel pipe or like a metal pipe. So I ended up hitting one of those. But I had fell asleep in the swamps. And I woke back up going to the deep curb going to my mom's house. And I woke up out of that and I get straight in I fell asleep again. And like about 3 miles from my mom and dad's house, I fell asleep. When I woke up, the car was going to the ditch and I flipped it to the ditch. It flipped over. Caught my wrist, this one. The door handle with the latch, caught it, flipped over the car, threw me out the car. Well, actually, I was just relaxed. So when the car hit the cover, it shifted me and it broke my left hip. So I flipped over. The car was in the middle of the street. The music was still playing. The song was playing was "Girls of the World Ain't Nothing But Trouble." I forgot who sang that song.
That's crazy. You remember that?
Yeah. So my memory is great.
He remember everything.
My memory is great. So I was out there for like about 45 minutes, and then my grandfather's first cousin husband, which is my mom's sister's husband. We like family.
Right.
He drove past me. He had a blue bug, and he rolled past me because he would be driving sleep. like the car, like it was a real Herbie Lumber. It was an old '68 Beetle. Like the car drove him everywhere he went to work, and he rode past me. So I never was one of my uncle's classmates, white guy named Frank Smith, stayed across the street, and he came out and he had a blanket he put over me, and they called the ambulance. And in my entire life, I seen my dad cry maybe 3 times.
Wow.
And that was one of the times. And they took me to the hospital, got me in there. I ended up having traction in my leg where they ran a rod through my leg to keep me so I wouldn't move. Technology was terrible then.
Yeah.
They actually screwed me back together. Just put a metal hip plate there and just screws me in my pelvic and everything.
And how old are you at this point?
At this time, I was 20. So I was 23. I was getting ready to turn 23.
Damn.
Actually, no, I was 21. To be a matter of fact, I was 21 because I had been out here 2 years. So I was 21, and I was getting 21. I got about to 22. So I had the car accident. So later after that, my grandfather was in the hospital. So that particular night after March 24th, this was 1992. 1987. I take it back, 1987. Short after that, my grandfather passed. And that particular night, I didn't sleep. And my mom, my blood pressure shot up so high because I wouldn't take the pain medicine.
I feel you on that.
So my mom and dad knew, but they had came to agreement to not tell me. So, but my dad's older brother behind it, which was my favorite uncle, which is my kids and my sister kids' favorite uncle, he came in like, "Boy, did they tell you?" I'm like, "What?" He said, "Daddy died." I just broke down.
What?
Broke down. Like, I knew something was wrong. My uncle never lied. He never hid them from me. May he rest in peace. So after that, I had to stay down there from March to July. I stayed there from March 87 to July 12th. I came back. And it's crazy because I came on Delta Island. My sister brought me back. And I wasn't supposed to leave, so I had to keep my legs straight. So that the airline gave me love, where they gave me 2 seats. My sister had me laid on the plane, so I got back. And I got back, and I was with my oldest son, mom, at the time when I had the accident. Came back, I got off the plane. She came, picked us up. I went and got my cars. I got back out of here. And I didn't do no rehab and none of that, man. I just, like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Get back where I was at. End up getting in '88. I ended up having my oldest son, Junior, that I always see us with.
Yep.
Things, change, he ended up being born in October, back in the streets, doing what I do, coming to a drug war. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I end up 5 years later, the same exact day, get shot 13 times.
Wait, the same exact day as the accident?
5 years later, the same exact day, I get shot 13 times at Sizzler.
Hold on. So can you give a little bit, was it like mistaken identity? How did the shooting thing happen? If you want to share.
I mean, being in the streets of Oakland, like I tell people all the time, like, to survive here is part of the culture. But over the years, the culture changed. You know what I mean? When the streets change and the drug trade changed, territorial. So, we end up, it's always a competitive thing, so it ended up being that. So one of the guys I ran with, he passed away a little while ago. Not knowing, I just got caught up in the crossfire of what was going on, but initially it was a drug war. I ended up getting shot up. I ended up getting the worst end of it. But I came up out of it. That particular time, I ended up getting my oldest son. It happened in March, and I was out of here on the 16th of April. My mom flew out here, and she was already out here and planning to come. But she was actually planning to come for her birthday, so we never told her. But then when I got shot, we had to tell her because, like I say, they was like, "You want me to tell your mom I got a tube in my mouth?" All kind of stuff. I think they messed up my voice,
Wow.
So it was, I had a horrific life living out here. But I wouldn't take nothing back.
Right.
But I actually got shot on the same exact day, and my auntie, one of my mama's older sisters, and my cousin, one of my older cousins, they rode right past me, didn't know it was me.
What?
Yeah.
When you say Sizzler, what was that? It was
In Hayward.
Hayward.
Hayward Experian. I don't even hear it Sizzler no more. And then I
Shit, I wouldn't either.
I couldn't even get a lawsuit. They said that we was arguing. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Did you have any like lasting effects behind the shooting at all?
Yeah, it took me a minute. It took me a minute to adapt. Like I said, I left. Hearing gunshots. Like even when I went to South, guns. In the
It's
country,
normal, huh?
they can shoot guns. So when I got down and we was chilling in the yard and a gunshot went off, I took off running.
Wow.
But they didn't understand what it was like. It was
Traumatic.
That whatever they call it.
Yeah.
That's post-traumatic stress, whatever
Yeah.
PTSD, whatever
Right,
you
right.
mean. So I still had that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like.
He don't come outside on the 4th of July.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
I don't come out on the 24th of July, March. I don't come out. I don't do 4th of July. I don't do New Year's Eve. So like I say, at the end of the day, it's just like my kids have been blessings to me.
Right.
So like I always tell people, it's a difference between being a father and a dad. You can father a kid, but a dad is to do the things that you do with your kids. The pushing in the swings, to take them to games and stuff like that. So like I said, that happened in '92. I recovered, got back to it, and then I meet his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I meet Sayeed mom, we hanging out, do what we got to do, you know what I mean? And he actually had a brother that's in between him and the older one. Was born in '90, he passed away in '96 to asthma.
What?
I met her, he was 2 years old. So that was like my third son. So he passed away to asthma before Sayeed was born. So Sayeed actually came after him 2 years later because she lost a son and we agreed to have him.
Wow.
Yeah. So in between that time, it's been, like I say, the streets. It's different now.
Right.
Because it was but now it's different. So with moving forward, that's how things was when it came to him. So. Like I tell people all the time, it's like I'm very protective of my kids.
Right.
So
I mean, rightfully so. Shit, look at, and I'm sure you went through way more than you sharing now. But
Yeah,
I mean, look
yeah,
at the things that you shared already.
Yeah.
And shit, we 5 minutes in. You know what I mean?
Like I say, when it comes to my kids, I never kept no secret from them. I always sheltered them. I always told them that I ran the streets enough for all three of us. You're not gonna go to the streets, but my older son had a different picture of what he wanted to do. He did 7 years in prison.
Oh wow.
Like I say, hell of a baseball player, spoiled. My kids they spoiled. I say they spoiled because they have had more than most black kids, young black men have had.
Mm-hmm.
Motorcycles, cars at a young age, and that's some of the things that my dad did for me. Like I was one of the kids that I could have had one of the rental cars when I was in the 9th grade, but I wanted the motorcycle. My dad was like, I'll buy you a car, but I'm not buying you a motorcycle. It made sense. And he said, you buy your first car. That's what I did. I ended up buying, in 1985, 86, I ended up buying, 1985, when I went back, I ended up buying me a 67 Cougar. So, at the end of the day, I tell everybody, we talk about it. I'll be respectful for the podcast at the end of the day, but I can go deeper into it. Maybe we'll come back later on.
Yeah, I want to do one with just me and you.
Yeah,
and we do a deep dive on
Yeah.
everything. Because I think that'll be dope and interesting, especially because obviously you and my dad's relationship and me knowing a little bit about your story. I'm interested to learn more.
Right.
So talk about when you had Sayeed a little bit and how that impacted you. And
so when Sayeed was born, he was born on the 22nd of May in 1998. It's crazy because 90 days later he born, I'm going to jail.
what?
I'm going to jail for somebody else's shit.
So he's 3 months old and you getting
I drop him off to his grandmother's house on 7th Ave, trying to get back in the streets. Motherfuckers don't ride their beef, if you don't mind me cursing.
nah?
They don't ride their beef. I can't say nothing. I got to stick to the G code.
Right.
I'm gone. I got a decision to make. So I'm already on probation. So I get a violation probation. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do this 40 days. I'm gonna get out.
Mm-hmm.
They file on me. So I got a choice that I can beat the case, or I can do this 8 months and 20 days, and come back home to my son before he turn a year old.
Right.
Tell my co-defendant, come on, man. Either you take this, it's yours, or I'm gonna cut you loose. You just look out for my girl and my, my son.
Right.
Didn't come to agreement. So now I got to sit there. So
You didn't come to an agreement.
Didn't come to agreement. So I got to do 8 months and 20 days. So I get out April 21st, 1999.
A month and a day before his birthday.
Before his birthday. We end up I come home. My boy look out for me.
So did he hold up so did he?
No.
Wow.
No. So I get out. I come home. I get right back in rotation. Give him his first birthday at Brookfield Park.
Oh, okay.
Now we got pictures with celebrities. Now celebrities.
Right.
Family. We do that. After that, I was like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? The hardest thing, the way to be from a kid. My oldest son got to sneak away from his mom to come with his mom to see me in jail. You know what I mean? So now it's like, okay, he's a year old.
What? How much older is his?
10 years apart.
10 years, okay.
Like 10 years apart.
Okay.
Actually, a little under 10 because the oldest would be 33 on the 21st of this year.
Okay.
So, I end up getting them back. You know what I mean? So, once again, it's a struggle. And like a lot of people that be talking that shit about these interviews, we really, I come home, we don't got nowhere to go. We end up staying with his mom, cousin. We end up moving to his grandmother's house in a 1-bedroom.
It's you, him, and his mom.
And his mom and her boyfriend. So
5 people in a 1-bedroom.
You could never tell that we stayed there though.
Why is that? Because we're always gone?
Because I had OCD. You could never stay. We was always visiting if you came over. So I ended up saying I'm not dealing with the streets anymore. I made a promise to my mom a second time. I'm not dealing with the streets. So I take on the job. Working at Scholastic, go to a staff agency. One of my buddies was working at a staff agency, hooked me up. I go to job for shows. What was it? It was a bookstore.
Okay.
Whatever, right? Scholastic Book Fair.
Okay.
So I ended up doing that in Union City, $7.75 an hour. $7.75.
How was that transition to get used to getting fast money in the streets to having to?
It wasn't really no problem because it was all about my kids.
Okay.
Sacrifice. I had been to jail before 6 months from the oldest woman. And it's like, okay, that's just, you young at the time.
Right.
Like, oh, that's part of the game, So him, it was different because it's like now I'm going away from him, and I didn't want them to be separated from each other that long because they got different moms.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it. So if that didn't work out, he ended up hooking me with another job, working at Weber Distribution to deliver to the 7-Elevens. I did that for a minute, and I got good at it. I'm like, I'm cool. I can move on up. They actually sent me out to San Francisco one night to Jonah Perry over there, the hair run spot, by myself. It was a 2-man route. And they was taking the chills, they called it crates with the orange juice, they was taking them off. I'm like, man, whatever. I forgot to tie down the chills down. I go down the hill to Mission by the bowling alley, get there to 7-Eleven, bag up all the corn chips, everything, the hot dogs, all in the back of the truck. I called his mama, come get me. I left the truck running, called the company, left that. I end up, I had some crazy stories, man.
Right.
So I do that. So I ended up knowing this girl. I've been knowing her. She had a friend about a dude I used to run with. She was working for a software company in Alameda. Hooked me up with that. Cool. I can deal with that. They can take the child support. They can do this. I'm still bringing home $1,900, $2,000 a month. Plus I'm dibbing and dabbing.
Right.
So I'm cool. So at this time, in the process of me taking those jobs, my boy lived in an apartment, his brother did, so he ended up hooking me with the landlord. So we ended up moving in the junior bedroom.
Yeah,
Me and his mom. He's finna be going. We stayed there till he was almost 4.
You remember that?
For sure.
Then I end up getting my oldest son. Him and his mom has me, so I ended up getting temporary custody of him. So now we got him in the house. All alone, the relationship that him and his brother had was so loyal. My oldest son smoking weed, I don't know.
Fact.
How old is he at this time? About 14? Yeah,
13, 14 years old.
You said 10 years.
So he was afraid. He was going to Oklahoma at the time because we stayed on 10th Ave. And it was crazy because as a young kid, Sayeed been loyal.
Sure.
Loyal to a T. I mean, that's his DNA. That's our DNA. We loyal. So he ended up one day, we came home, and it was somebody said, oh, man, it's a hell of ambulance and police up in front of Oklahoma. I'm calling this fool. He not answering his phone. We go up there. He's sitting in the corner. He high. He high.
High as a kite though. He
high.
don't got no idea
So I'm
what's
like-
going on.
That's
I put him on
hilarious.
punishment, whatever the case may be. Should I pause it?
No, you good.
You know what I mean? So I put him on punishment, and me and his mom, we go into the bowling alley. Before we can leave the bowling alley, he gone. He know we gone to play darts. He gone. So we do that, whatever, right? So he ended up going back to his mom. I'm working. So I'm good with the job. His mom working for a staffing agency, man. We got big money coming in. They hit me 11 months into the job. Going to my 12th month, I'm getting ready to be the supervisor with tech support. Western Union by the company. They do a background check.
Wow.
They got to get rid of me.
And how long were you there?
11 months, and I'm getting ready to be the supervisor. So my pay raise is getting ready to go up. And during this time, and this is when the postal shooting was going on. The dude did the postal shooting. So they came in. I never forget the supervisor named Belinda Flores. She came like, Terry, I want to talk to you, right? And I told her, I said, hey, listen, it's not that serious.
Right.
You don't have to worry about me doing no postal service, no shooting and killing everybody up in the job. So his mom worked at a staffing agency. She ended up getting me a job at Workman Comp. That wasn't nothing. So at the end of the day, as I do that job, I worked there for 2 weeks. I get my check, it's $129. Child support and ticket. I was supposed to go in the next day of that Saturday. I never went back. So she ended up giving me another job at Kyle Perm around the corner from her job on Harrison. I'm there for a minute, but it was a temp agency, so they didn't need me. So I just came in one day, and my boy, his brother got caught up. So he ended up leaving some money, but I always had a connection. So my boy, I run into one of my other boys that bought a bike. So he said, oh, you know, such is coming home. I'm like, is that right? He's like, yeah. So my boy brother left him some money. So I go, he said, hey, you know, such is home. I'm like, all right, we went and met him. From that point on, I got back in the rotation. So I went to his mom. I'm like, I can't do this no more.
Right.
We stand in the junior bedroom. So I can't do this no more. Either you're going to roll with me or roll without you. So I got on. Shit, we left everything we had on 10th Avenue. Moved to North Oakland. Bought everything brand new. Only thing we brought was our clothes. So I know the landlord that was mad because we left fly-ass butterscotch couches. We didn't bring none of that. No bedroom set, no nothing. We bought everything brand new.
Shit was so crazy. Our kitchen table was a little like mini pool table because I love pool so much.
Yeah.
So instead of us having a kitchen table, bro, they got me a little pool table, and now it's just
Facts.
I played pool on that. When it was time to eat, we just ate on
On
it.
10th
real?
Avenue. Facts. On 10th Avenue.
You nice and pool?
Yeah.
You want no smoke.
Yeah, you're all right.
Zero smoke.
Crazy.
That's the thing about
I took pool class in Montana all 4 years.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't need to, but it was just something that he
Something to
loved
do.
doing.
Something fun. Yeah.
But that was part of it. Like I tell people, like when they talk these stories, he really got a story. So in moving forward, we ended up moving to North Oakland. He going to Montera. Actually, for when we
Are you hooping? Is he hooping yet?
No, matter of fact, let me just back that up. We moved there. He's going to Berkeley Manor.
Berkeley Manor. Yeah.
Okay.
Then he went from Berkeley Manor to EC Rings or whatever the case may be.
Berkeley Manor to Peralta.
First he went to Claremont
No,
too.
Peralta.
Peralta.
Yeah.
He started off going to Peralta, ended up going to Markham, came back from Markham
Went to Berkeley Manor,
Manor,
then Berkeley Manor to Montera.
to Montera. So, you know, he always, you know, his older brother used to dog him to the Fisher Hoop.
Served me.
Served him, right.
We used to go hoop. Bro, he would never pick me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what you on, bro?
Like, he would
right,
just be in the
right.
house.
You my blood.
4 years
So
old.
how old are you now? You middle school, elementary?
So,
Yep.
So he like 16, 17 at this point?
yeah. So, but at the meantime, though, when we on the junior bedroom house on 10th Avenue, he got the Fisher Price hoop.
Right.
And it's
So
just
his brother
dunking on
dunking
me.
on him, won't let him do. He got him crying.
I'm trying to get a layup. He slapping my
Slapping.
shit across the room and shit.
So,
Get that up out of here.
so we
Everything.
end up. Shit changes, the money changes.
Right.
So we end up doing the same thing from 10.
And you still got your oldest right at this
right.
point. Okay.
Well, actually, he didn't graduate from Armio now.
So he's back and forth
Yeah, he's back and forth.
between you and moms.
Yeah. So we end up moving there in 2004 on 10th Avenue. So things changed. Everything is changing. So we end up moving to Vallejo. So now we transport. We never changed. We kept the address in North Oakland. Kept the place. So, but we got a big old spot in
Vallejo.
Glen Cove. So I'm getting every morning. We taking him to school in Montera. But mind you, got
Bro, we're riding a motorcycle, bro.
in the
to
morning
school, bro.
Yeah.
Talk about that real quick for me. The motorcycle thing. Where did? Because you said you wanted that in Louisiana too.
Well, I actually wanted a motorcycle. I've been riding bikes since I was like 7, 8 years old. My dad bought me a mini bike when I was younger. So I ended up, a friend of mine's ended up buying a bike. I ended up with his bike in 90, down a low rider. So in all the process of what I just said, all the homies ended up joining the club. So in 2005, 2004, I'm on. So I ended up winning 10 grand from a guy at a bowling alley in Vacaville.
Bowling?
Yeah, I didn't bowl.
You was just betting.
Betting. A friend of mine, you know, he was bowling. He was bowling. Dude was drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
He just won like $30,000 at Cash Creek. So he was like, "Oh, I can bowl 1,000. I bet 1,000." I dropped him off at his great auntie house. I went to the bowling alley in Vacaville with $23 in my pocket.
23.
$23. I bet on my ass. Won the first 1,000. Bet it back another 1,000. Knowing that we could beat him, we beat him out of 2,000. I think I won 10, and the other dude won like 8 or 9 grand. I get up the next morning, get my uncle, may he rest in peace, take him out, go get me a Harley. You know what I mean? Riding, put him on the back. You know what I mean? We still in North Oakland.
I used to be falling asleep on the back of that bike.
For real?
Yes.
He ended up buying this little thing, like this little
To
belt,
strap you in.
Strapped on
to
too.
hold me on the hand. So if I did fall asleep, I wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah. So you know we did.
Cause
That.
so the trip from Vallejo to
He was older then.
okay.
He was older, so we left there in 2004. But I got the bike in 2005, so we left going out there in 2007.
Yeah.
We ended up moving out to Vallejo. And some mornings we'd get late, we'd jump on the bike, put him on the bike and drive
get
him out
through
there.
traffic.
So, yeah.
After school, it was over though. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over for that.
But I'm already in Oakland. I'm already in Oakland now, so either his brother gonna pick him up. His brother was pissed off because I'm like, you got to pick your brother up. You know, which we talk about that now. So he playing basketball.
No, I wasn't.
He was 6th grade.
I was fucking up.
He listen. So he playing basketball.
Nah, 6th grade. I didn't play at all at Montero. Not even AAU.
You did that. Montero, you played basketball.
I played AAU in elementary when it was 08.
All the way up to 08, but
And
you
then
did.
I didn't play at Montero. I played.
Yes, you did. I'm gonna tell you how you played in Montero, right? Because you was playing for Coach J, and
That was my 8th grade year. Coach J was my coach 8th grade.
that was at Montero.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8. So,
I didn't get to play 6th and 7th grade.
yeah, so he didn't play 6, 7. So he played 8th grade. We go there, right?
Uh-huh.
So he talking about he playing basketball. He fucking up in school.
Yeah, so
I'm getting-
I was in 7th grade, 6th grade. I wasn't doing none of my homework.
But
No, matter of fact, I wasn't doing none of my homework, but I passed the test.
But he's transitioning.
But at that age, homework mean a lot more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like they like, no, you're not passing. Even though you passed the test, you're not passing the class. So
Right.
I was like, okay. Report card come out, they won't see it.
Right.
I'm hiding it. Like at this point, like it's over with. Like
So then he started getting in trouble. The principal started
we was
calling. We get into it, whatever. So
So
they had a Christmas tournament at Montero, 8th grade year. He come home every day. Dad, I'm rowing basketball. I'm like, I ain't fucking with you with no basketball, man. You ain't got no grades. Cause that's big at my mom and dad house. That's big. Even with his brother was they smart as fuck, but they want to cut corners.
Sure.
So when his brother was staying with us, he would man, I had to stay up at Oakland High. He cutting class, he smoking weed, he doing all this shit. So they just fuck us, but they smart. But the oldest one, he ended up graduating, but he fucked off his career because he had to go to Solano, night school, summer school to graduate. That's all that matters, you know what I mean? So he come behind, he was like, oh, so whatever, right? So his mom like, come on, let's go. I'm like, nah, I'm not fucking go up there. So we go to Skyline.
before that though, coach begged him like, listen, let him play. He was like, if you let him play, right, it'll make him focus more in the classroom. He's like, just believe in me, trust in me, and I promise you that he get his grades.
Year?
Yeah, he
Probably know Jason.
He'll get his grades right.
You know Jason?
Jason Dillard.
Yeah.
No, not Jason Dillard. Coach J, the one who went to school his son.
Yeah, GP family.
Yeah.
Jason Payton.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I gotta see him.
It ain't Jason Payton, it's something else, right? So anyway, we doing that. So
It is. They both are Dillard.
Yeah. Right.
Both
so,
of them is Dillard.
Right.
Oh, okay.
They both
okay.
are Dillard.
Yeah. So
The other J Dill was my cousin.
Yeah. But the one we talking about, his name Dillard too though.
Okay.
So they doing this. So we end up going to Skyline.
He let me play. So
Go right for a year.
yeah, but he ain't been to a game
I
yet.
haven't been. He been playing. Hadn't been to no game.
Are you nice at this point?
What?
Killing, bro.
So we go to Skyline.
Right, but hold on. You have to think about it. At this point, I was always a big man
From AAU.
from AAU.
But I'm telling him, though, fuck
We
that. You
arguing like I'm about to be the next Dwight, bro. What are you talking about? Right?
Wearing number 11.
At this point, I'm about to be the next Dwight.
I'm like,
So Melvin Landry, his son Miles.
Yeah.
Miles ended up wearing number 20. Miles ended up wearing number 4 because the guard at Kansas, right? It was a guard at Kansas that around that time.
Chalmers?
No, that wore 4.
4.
So listen, I wore 32 because Dame Powell,
Oh wow.
right? So I'm about to be. I'm thinking I'm big.
Right.
We bumping heads, right? So at Montero, the coach like, you the point. I'm like, it's a foreign language. You feel me? I ain't never. Only time I bring the ball is if I rip somebody and
Right.
get a layup. So I'm like, point guard. Like, I'm probably the second biggest dude on the team. So it's me running one, everybody is short. Then our 5, like my height. I'm like, it's over. So I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work. But I'm killing though. I'm like, okay, I'm getting used to this, So I'm telling him like, bro, you gotta check out. He ain't talking to me because my grades wasn't. My report card ain't came in. He don't know if my grades right.
Right.
So the Christmas tournament come. I'm like, bro, you gonna come to the game or like? So he gonna tell you from his point of view, like.
So Jason's like, man, Pops, just let him play, man. Like, man, I'm not fucking with Sayeed. Like, just believe in me. So we get up, we go to Skyline. They tip the ball off, and I look.
I caught a bang out.
What?
Eighth
First
grade.
play.
I'm like, hell.
How tall are you?
I'm like 6'2".
He was tall in 8th grade.
And
I'm
you
like,
dunked it already.
I'm like 6'1", 6'2", yeah.
So I'm
Caught my
like,
first dunk in game.
so I'm like,
You had never dunked before?
Like just baby dunks
Yeah.
on the side hoops and stuff, but nah.
but I'm like, so I'm watching him like, so now he got my attention.
I bet he
I'm like,
do
I was
shit.
like, I'm fucking with him now, right?
40.
He going off. But mind you, let me back when he played at AAU, he was the first kid in the Rebels program that dunked in a 6 feet hoop in AAU. They yelled at him at Verdes Carter.
They told me I couldn't do it again. I couldn't do it.
At
Don't do it
40.
again.
Oh, like this when they used to attach the smaller hoops.
They're like, don't do it again. I get it again. Punch it again. Like, it's over. Man.
That's when they was running with Trav when he was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So when he do that at Skyline,
That first Christmas game at Skyline, 40.
I remember them Christmas
he
tournaments.
killing them, right?
Right.
So now he got my attention.
So we end up playing the whole Christmas tournament. We in the championship now. We playing Brewer. We Brewer by like 30. So he like, okay, you got some game to you. Like, you been working. I'm like, yeah, like, my grades right, everything. So we come back. Now we playing our regular little Oakland League. We lose to Brewer. They beat us by 20 after we just beat them. I'm hot now. Like, rest in peace, my boy Jeremy Hanks. He wasn't on the team at first. They went and got him. He ended up transferring in. They beat us. So season go through. We played him again this game.
And the Brewer.
We played him again at Montero. We beat them by 40. And it's like, I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, like, let me play AAU again. Because at this point, I wasn't playing with the Rebels no more. Because my grades was messed up. So then that's when it went off. It was up from there.
So when he played with them, Melvin and them had him playing a big.
Yeah, I still was playing big
Still
after
playing
I
big.
played the one for my middle school team.
So at this point, are you dunking consistently?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm teaching everybody else how to dunk now. That's crazy, though.
Yeah, that's
like,
hilarious.
So now, this is when the time coming for
to go to high school.
High school, Skyline, they talking.
So
Matt,
at Montero, when because you went to Oakland Public School.
I went to Bret Hart.
Yeah. They assign you to a high school.
Yep.
I got assigned to Tech first.
Yeah.
So I got assigned to Tech. We like, okay, we about to go down. We all go
His
to Tech.
mom went to Tech.
They like, no, you're not going. They like,
Who said no?
Moms and pops like, you ain't doing no public school, right?
No Oakland public schools.
I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I ain't disrespecting them, but I'm telling my partners like, that's over. They ain't. I don't know what they talking about.
Right.
So I get dressed to go to school first day at Tech. I'm suited and booted, ready to go. They like, no, you ain't going to Tech.
Mind you, El Cerrito hadn't started school yet.
Yeah.
So did you already know you wanted him to go to EC?
Listen, they recruited him to go to EC.
So look, now I think Mac started like a couple days later. I'm like, I had one of my older bros brother enroll me into Mac, bro. They don't even know this. Like, he ain't even know this to this day. I'm like, I'm going to Mac. They like, how you going to Mac? You ain't even. I'm enrolled. Like, let's go. They're like, you're not going there either.
This is 2012.
Okay.
I'm like,
Crime rate is killing the youngsters is up crazy.
so then now they like, you going to El Cerrito? Mind you, I don't even know where that's at. I'm
But
like,
he don't understand is though, Book had called Donnie Davis, which with my cousin. They went there, right? So I'm already been there when Drew was there. You know, when all the cats came in. So me and Book had some encounters that he didn't remember. You know, when one of my partners got killed in Richmond, and he was one detaining me or whatever, right? So I had never played. Like, well, they had been asking, who's this kid, Sayeed Pridgett from Oakland? We need him. They did everything on the sun to get him there.
Bro,
we get there, right?
Was El Cerrito even good at this point?
They had Tyrell.
Tyrell was older
Tyrell
than
was a
you.
freshman. He was going to be a sophomore.
Yeah.
Tyrell was the man there. He had a bunch of players on there, but they was weed heads and having babies and shit with him, right?
Real was killing.
Yeah, Real was killing then. So
we ended up going to orientation.
Yeah.
We went to orientation. I'm like, bro, because my uncle, like I said, our family, Donnie Davis, he had football coach there, so he helped me get into the school and everything. So I'm like, I went to go tell him, like, thank you for helping me get into school. So I'm just like, bro, I see football players just staring at me and shit. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Like, I don't.
So we get there. They had the pre-fall workouts where you had to turn with like the trials, what they call that shit, like camps.
Yeah.
So they in there, right? So they got a dude named Gio. He was a junior when Sayeed was there. Yeah, he was going to his junior year.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the book like, yeah, man, that's who, you know. So we get there, right? So basketball season come around. I'm like, man, with first game, I'm early.
First game against Mac.
Yeah. I'm Juice, right?
Is Booze there at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Juice.
One of his homies on the team. You know, it's a little
At Mac?
I'm talking shit.
ineligible.
I get there. The team dressing out. I say, what the fuck is you doing?
I'm in a white polo.
I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? He just dropped his head. I don't got grades, Pop. I'm back on this shit again. They already telling you that when the kids transition from junior high to high school, they chasing girls. They, you know what I mean?
It's different.
ugly.
It's different. Yeah.
I'm sitting there saying to myself, like, motherfucker, we just went through this shit, and you ain't no dummy.
I was trying to get up out of there, bro.
I'm still going to the game.
Send me the tech, bro. Mac, I'm not trying to be there, bro.
I'm steady going to the game. You gonna do this. So now he got to carry the ball bags and shit. He low dog. Mm-hmm. So we go in the game.
So you're on varsity?
Yeah, on VAR.
I was supposed to start.
He's supposed to
But
start.
I didn't want to be there.
He did start. So he come in. Next week he get on, man, fucking GPA go all the way back up. Here we go. So he don't start the first game. They got a hell of a squad too.
Oh, we had a good team.
Had a good team. He come in. Now he kill as a freshman. Go all the way freshman, come back his sophomore year.
I'm ineligible again.
Who'd you play AU with that year?
Rebels.
That
All
summer?
Rebels.
Okay, Rebels.
All Rebels.
I didn't want to be there. Like,
But
you
the thing about it is, though, right?
I'm trying to be in OAL, bro.
So
All my
now-
partners is in OAL.
So now you got
like,
SFO, you got all these schools, you got
USF,
USF, you got Utah State, you got everybody coming.
New
Mexico, so Oregon, Beavers,
Colorado.
He like they come to see Tyrell, right? He like that. Why? I say you don't got no fucking grades.
Right.
I was
So
pissed.
now-
I'm killing AU. Like, I'm
He
seeing
killing
them
right.
playing
So
against AU,
now
getting
they
offers.
coming. They got what's the coach? He used to play in the league. Was it USF?
Rex
Chapman.
Walters.
Rex Walters.
right?
Walters, yeah.
So he killing right. So they used what they call it, your probate, whatever it was.
Yeah, I was able to use my probation.
Oh, okay. So
I was back to back.
you're on contract
Yeah.
pretty much now.
So his sophomore.
So
year.
now I got to keep getting weekly like reports and shit.
So he get that back. He get back. So now his sophomore year, Book still got him playing the big. I'm talking shit. So going into his junior year, he said, "Oh, next year it's gonna be you and Tyrell's team." So now you got Carlos Johnson.
But yeah, so
Okay, wait. This is when Carlos Johnson comes. What grade are you in?
Is his junior year.
we juniors,
Okay,
right?
because this is my first time seeing you play.
Yeah.
So look, but at this point, people don't know. Like I already knew Carlos, right?
Yeah.
So one time, I think we was like 15, 16, playing. I was playing with the Rebels, but we wasn't playing this weekend. So I flew out to Arizona. I played with them.
Mike Bibby.
But Raymond and them don't know. They don't know that I did this, right? So I get caught. Mel got the 8th graders out there. Bro, I'm like, oh, I'm fried. I know the Mel gonna see me. I try to throw a hoodie on, but we in Arizona, so Team
hella
Bibby
hot.
games is lit out there. I catch a dunk. The whole gym over there at the game, I'm like, ah. So Mel see me, I'm like, so he's like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm always a rebel, but we ain't playing, so I'm about to play with them. So I ended up talking to Ray. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, like I should have never lied to you. Like I'm trying to play. Like I'm a hooper. Like we ain't playing. I'm out. Like I need to find somewhere to hoop. But prior to that as well, I knew Lois for a minute. Like I said, I've been knowing him for a minute. We was in a junior sophomore camp. I'm like, bro, bet 1,000 he can windmill. This one, Los, like, he real chunky, heavy, right? Heavy. He like, man, hell no, he can't windmill. Los go between his legs, bro. What they mean, like ninth grade.
Yeah. So they gonna do that.
So they like when they tell me like Los coming to EC, I'm like, oh, it's on with my boy. Like we finna get it popping.
Here come the bullshit. Here come the bullshit.
It was
when I say it's bullshit, like they doing everything to keep him eligible. Oh, Sayeed recruited him to come.
Yeah, they weren't trying to let him play. Hella shit.
Man. So this is a crazy. He's going to his junior year, right?
Yeah, mind you, he wasn't even trying to come to El Cerrito at first. He was trying to go to a whole different school.
He was trying to go to Bishop O'Dowd.
Yeah, so
because he came out here on behalf of the soldiers, right?
Yeah, he wasn't even coming to EC. He just couldn't get into wherever he's trying to go to, so he ended up coming there. So they like, nah.
He's not eligible. So now it's Sayeed and Tyrell show. Their first game is against Kennedy.
Nah.
Yes, it was. You had 27 against Kennedy.
You're right. We had the first game of Kennedy.
He could have
27 at half.
Yeah, he didn't play the second half.
What was it a blowout?
What?
He was just like, damn, you know how Kennedy, he ain't want nobody to hurt me or nothing.
Yeah. So the Oregon coach up there recruiting him, Oregon Beavers.
Oregon State.
Yeah, he was like, there's no need for me to stand here. They're not playing nobody. I'm like, what? So Tyrell is pushing for Book to let him go crazy. I mean, he got like tip in dunks, a 2-hand dunk, banging off. I mean, he just
how tall are you at this point?
He's like 6'5".
6'4", 6'5". Yeah.
So he grew from Montera at 6'1", 6'2". By the time he got to El Cerrito, he was like 6'3", 6'4" as a freshman. Mm-hmm. So we get there, right? So now I'm on the sideline like I have been always coaching.
We beat everybody though. This is my junior year. We beat Mitty. We beat Kennedy and nobody. We beat them. We beat
So Carlos isn't playing this year?
He's not eligible the first half.
He going through his appeal.
Okay.
So they got we got to get
beating everybody.
Because I remember y'all had like the chubby dude with the ponytail, right?
Banks, the player for the 49ers now.
Okay.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. With the Notre Dame.
He guard for the Niners right now.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So look,
they came up together from.
We didn't play all these teams. We undefeated. Carlos' first game. It's like our sixth game of the season. It's against Mac.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's against Mac on Cal High Sports. We blow through Mac.
Who Mac got at this time?
They got
Dalvin.
No.
Dalvin gone.
Dalvin gone.
They got I forgot. A dude named Mike. I know his mom.
Mike Walker.
Mike Walker.
Tajay.
Yeah.
Tajay. That's my little cousin.
They got that was team. Mike Walker, Tajay. Trayvon. Yep.
Okay.
Trayvon.
Where's that shit talking?
Lil E.
Okay. Yeah. That's them at the time.
They going at it, boy.
So they decent at this point.
Yeah. It was a good game though.
Yeah.
We just had too much firepower.
Because I think I came to a game when y'all put my little cousin BJ at St. Vincent St. Pat.
Yeah.
Y'all played at El Cerrito. That was my first time seeing you and Tyrell play.
Yeah.
But I was coming to see BJ, but that was my first time. Because they had you playing at the free throw line a lot.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That was Book.
We had a player.
So then we had to go to turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
So Book like says, "Oh man, we can't do this."
So at El Cerrito, the first half of the season you have to wear the team shoes. Second half of the season, you wear whatever you want.
Why is that? That's just a coach's rule?
It's a coach's rule, whatever.
Okay.
He just wants to keep it solid or whatever. We ain't tripping. But Los he like, bro, I got these fire ass kicks, bro. I'm bringing my shit out. We playing National Christmas Tournament. I ain't mad, but I'm like, shit, I'm trying to bring some heat out too. I love my kicks. So I'm like, bro, it's bad. Like, you about to really wear them? He like, yeah, he wearing shit. Coach don't say shit. I'm like, oh, it's on. Like, for real? Okay. So we had like a little meeting with Coach or whatever. Coach.
No.
That's good. Like, Coach have his little meeting with her, but he trying to like have like certain shit go a certain way and shit, but I ain't know he calling me. He called me during the meeting. So I like trying to click like, damn, why keep calling me click? I answered the motherfucker.
But he don't know he answered it.
I don't know he answered though. So he hear the whole conversation. He ain't like what was being heard. Feel me? Like,
oh wow.
Book's like, oh yeah, man, we want
certain shit. He want the ball to go certain ways, and it's like we ain't tripping off that. Like whoever, how we play at El Cerrito, like nigga, whoever got the hot hand, that's what we going through. You feel me? But we ain't about to just do it like
he
that.
He ain't answering it. I'm calling Tyrell. So he ended up talking to Book.
So boop, he like fuck that.
I text
remember
him.
I told you we were telling you earlier, like Dave had made me some. He had gave me some custom white and green El Cerrito. That's when the crazy boots had dropped. So he brought them. He like you wearing your shit.
So I textbook, and we need to talk via person, over the phone, whatever. We need to talk ASAP. He called back. I said, check this out, man. We're not doing that. So you said we're not doing what you're saying. I said, when you said when Sayeed came, this was going to be him and Tyrell team when they going into his sophomore, junior year.
He like, at this point, he like, I don't know about Tyrell. Like, Tyrell better have to stand on his, but. So it was over.
This is what we doing.
Shit was over with, though.
You know what I mean? So we end up doing that. We get back. We get back from the tournament. That Saturday morning, got practice. His mama get up.
Bro, mom's went crazy on him, bro.
I'm like, what is you doing? I'm going to motherfucking El Cerrito. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, hold on. She'd leave me.
She left you.
I come up there.
We practicing, bro. We can hear we can
Why
hear her
why is she going bad on him?
Because
just the way he was moving, bro.
Got you.
Like,
Okay.
The
She
shit wasn't how it was, like how it was when we first got there. Like
You think this is because now Carlos is there?
it ain't even just because of that. Like he was killing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get it wrong. He killing. Like we ain't taking the wrong away from that. But just like the way he coaching, the way he subbing, like shit just different. Like
everything
he preached just went out the window. I was like, we like shit. Like, let us know what's going on.
The thing about him that we had to do, like, I know him. I know my kids. So Sayeed killing. He the lead scorer of the team. So they end up doing some Carlos like, yeah, man. Ooh, Sayeed like, I gotta let you do that. He's like, well, you ain't let me do nothing. The next game, the next 4 games, this nigga go off 21, 25, 27, 28.
Triple dub. Hella shit.
You know what I mean? So he killed him, right? But he got, you know what I mean? So Booker steady yelling at him. So his mom get up to the, she's like, I get there, yeah, you a piece of shit. Woo, woo, woo. She talking crazy. I snatched my motherfucking son up out here. Whatever. He just sitting there going, right. So, you know, we end up talking like, but he wanted Sayeed to rat on him. I'm like, hold on, bro.
I ain't snitching on nobody.
We don't do that. That's not your job.
To rat on Carlos about the shoes?
Just Lowe's, everybody though, like feel me, like. But mind you, Coach he the police, so like he got access to
literally,
he got access to school cameras and shit. So like he just waiting to see if you gonna tell him. I'm not telling you what you already know. It's over with. Like,
so I tell him, listen, man, you are never coach a kid that is loyal to you as Sayeed. So we go ahead on through that. So
how far did you end up going that year?
We went 29-4.
Yeah.
We lost We lost 2 games before state to Folsom. Yeah.
They wasn't ready. So we do that.
We cat it, bro.
Yeah.
Tyrell's a senior at this point, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. So they go through all that. We do that, right? So come back. Next day, the news flyer hit. Carlos ain't coming back. He going to Finley Prep.
Yeah, most transferred to Finley.
But now, Sayeed.
Did you know that he was doing that?
Nah, none of us knew.
Nobody knew nothing.
Nah. We weren't tripping though. Like this shit gotta keep going no matter what.
Right. So now,
but at the end of the day, like he trying to make his career better.
Right. He's doing what he feel best for him.
Yeah, so
right.
Can't get mad.
So now it's the SP4 show, all over Northern California, all over everything is right. So I go to
before we go into senior year. How are you getting recruited at this point? Are you getting letters? You getting?
He didn't get them his first 2 years. He was getting them, but they wasn't who they was. So now, going into his junior year, actually last part of his sophomore year in the AAU, going into his junior year, he hot.
I was getting recruited by Oregon State.
Yeah. Who else was on your Rebel team?
A Rebel team, me, Kevin Warren, Dejon Davis, Dante Bassett, Jeremy Hanks.
You had another
Sebastian Munch. Who else? Sule Boom.
Sule, okay.
Trey Gray.
Yeah. Trey, okay.
Cam Reese.
Trey's
Trey, me and Trey's handmade, but he
no,
great.
Trey is a year older than you.
Yeah, he older than me, but he great under me.
Yeah.
Well, and I got
okay. Yeah.
So going into that,
our team was nice though.
So when he go into his senior year, he got a bunch of underclassmen.
Yeah.
They lose the first.
Think about this though. So my junior year, it was me, Carlos, Tyrell Alcon, Jalen Walton, Bernard Ward, Aaron Banks. So like our team was stacked. None of them are back besides Aaron. We got everybody from JV on the team my senior year.
But before Trey wasn't eligible because he left Salesian.
Yeah, so Trey didn't get the
early part of the season to late.
Trey Gray.
So now he got Sayeed, Aaron, Jacob Smith out there, dude named
Mustafa
Mustafa, and then you had Randy. So
a lot of these dudes was on JV and shit.
yeah, so they had to move up. So until Trey came, so they losing. Man, I'm sick of this shit. I don't even want to play no more.
I'm getting 30s and shit. I'm like, when I'm getting 30, we ain't losing. Like that ain't. Feel me? Like I said, we was just my freshman
You're
year.
not committed or signed at this point.
Nah.
Okay.
My freshman year, we was like 25 and like 8. My sophomore year, we won 22 games in a row. And then my junior year, we 29 and 4. So I'm like, I ain't used to losing like this, especially early on. Like hell no.
So he wasn't feeling it. I'm like,
we lost to Sheldon.
Everybody had been beaten.
Everybody we've been beating, they was just getting their revenge. Feel me? Like
so then Trey ended up getting eligible.
Yeah, Trey got eligible. It was over. Spread that floor was more spread now.
Now Book is believing. Can't nobody bring the ball up the court but him.
Yeah.
He killing. I got the fat heads made.
Yeah,
we got the whole family. Actually his whole career, but his last 2 years of high school,
That was lit.
the whole section was just our family from his mama's side to my side of the family. We just deep in there. And you got the homies, everybody coming, man. The motorcycle set, everybody coming there. Every tournament, everywhere you at.
Cal Hires at that motherfucker like every other day.
If you go on right now and type in, it's like we have one of our favorites, Sayeed Pridgett. You know what I mean? And he was so much advanced, and then a lot of the kids in high school, it's like.
And we really was mad because at this point when I got to high school, Yair's finals had just stopped.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, everybody. I grew up watching the tapes,
right,
Meaty, Juan, Kiwi.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need that. You
Right,
feel me?
right.
It's my time. Like, yeah, done. I'm like,
Yeah, so he
So we ain't really had no mixtape. I think I'm just getting buckets, and if you ain't watching Cal High, you don't know.
Right.
Yeah, so he killing them. So we do that. So when he get to so now, all the letters is coming in.
Colorado, Oregon State,
play for the Pistons. Chauncey Billups. You know the head coach of Colorado at the time.
Oh, okay.
He's sending letters. But the cold thing about it is, the 2 years he eligible done fucked up his GPA, his curriculum for him to do that. So now his junior year, going to senior year.
Bro, I was doing so bad, bro. I did summer school every year besides my senior year.
Exactly. So his junior year, he had to do Florida Virtue. I had to spend $1,000.
What is that, like an online class?
Online class.
In Florida.
So he traveling on AAU team.
I'm doing like school, like college shit.
Yeah.
Bro, I had to get a laptop and hell shit
Yeah.
during my AAU games, bro.
Going into
That's
his senior year.
crazy.
So
They like, bro,
at the
where you at? I'm like, I'm in a room,
t-
bro. I'm trying to get my because if the higher your GPA, the higher the lower your
my
SAT. SAT wasn't my problem, but it's just like it make it easier on you,
Right,
less stress.
Montana's on his line. They bring their whole staff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it was every game.
But they also contacting the assistant coach running everything to get him eligible.
Yeah, he told me like I believe in you, bro. Like I said, so like to on Montana's behalf, like I said, my grades dropped. They like, nah, we still believe like you got this. Like everybody else, like we holler at you with them grades.
They was
Montana, nah, we here.
They was like, you're a
We
liability.
believe.
They was like, we can invest in you and whatever the case may be.
Next man up. That's how a lot of those schools work.
Yeah, but
So
Montana,
he-
like Coach Cobb, like nah, you our guy. Like you number one on our board. Like we believe in everything. Like grades don't get better. SAT score gonna be good. So I'm like, okay, I'm rocking with it. And they sending the most mail out of everybody. So like, yeah, they standing out at this point.
Then here we come, Musselman at
And Nevada, I verbally committed like to my family and friends to Nevada originally.
And this is how. Okay, so where are you at? I'm trying to get the timetable right. So this is before your senior year starts.
Yeah.
Before your senior season.
Yep.
You want to go to Nevada?
We took an unofficial actually. That
Took him
summer.
up there.
That summer
Him
before
and
my
Dante
senior year.
Bassett.
Me and Dante Bassett, we took an unofficial together. I'm feeling it. Like I like the facility. Like he talking what I want to hear. Everything. Like feel me. I'm like, yeah, I like it. But
last minute though, right? But they trying to force him to sign soon.
Yeah, it was me. They wanted me and Devin Ramsey. They like if he commit before you, like I can't even do nothing about it. I was like, all right, I'm not rushing myself though at this point. So we took a visit to Montana. My Montana visit was like what anybody can like dream of having. Like I said, like Montana basketball team had their ring ceremony. The next day we get up, we chill, we go eat breakfast, whatever. It's a football game. ESPN. They play NDSU. That's when Carson Wentz was a quarterback for NDSU. So it's crazy. Like the environment stupid. Like so it's like whatever you could think of. Like and for real though, like all of the above.
They sold it. So we get there. So we
So
get
they
back.
like so we get to the
So
crib.
all of this is still before senior year, or you're in your senior?
I'm doing my senior year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We ain't hooped. We ain't played a game yet.
Okay, that's what I thought. So this is
So
before the
This
first signing
August,
period.
This is August.
Okay.
Yeah, my uncle, the one that told me about pass, he passed in the process of us doing the transition to going that.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, so at this point, we bumping heads though. Like
About where you gonna go?
he like, and mom's like, we feeling Montana. I'm like, I don't care what
I'm
you're talking
going
about.
Nevada.
I'm going to Nevada.
but my mind frame is I don't give a fuck about the basketball. My thing is about his education. Okay, if he go to Nevada, that's only 2.5 drive. That's 220 miles. So these little broads, these nickelheads, they can go up here and distract him. I'm thinking education. I'm not thinking
Yeah,
about
that's what
sport.
they thinking. I'm thinking straight hoop, bro.
Right.
Like,
You know what I mean?
and I don't even know where Montana at. Like, we keep going through this again. Like, going places where we don't even know where it's at. So it's like, I wasn't worried about it getting. I wasn't worried about it snowing. I wasn't worried about none of that. Like, it just like, I honestly, like I tell everybody, this, I wanted to go somewhere where one of my boys was getting recruited too, because, like I said, I already felt like when I went and played these nations, I felt like the odd man out. I'm not trying to feel like that again in college. So I'm
But
like,
you got Mario up there, but Mario is
Mario
Mario
Dunn from Salesian.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
So,
being a
like I said,
fucking-
Will went to Montana.
Right.
So I'm familiar with it. It's
Montana,
like,
yeah.
Nevada, I know what this is. Like,
Hey, we literally sitting at the house about this time.
we
Trav-
really arguing though.
Trav blowing me up. Musman blowing him up.
Yeah, like
He got tears in his
We
eyes.
really arguing though. Like he like, bro, you
His
tripping.
brother called from prison. I'm like, man, you called right on time. Your brother tripping.
I'm like, bro, I'm not going to Montana. Like, I ain't wasn't no problem with them. Like, I didn't have no. I'm just like, bro,
You had your mind made up.
it's over.
But my thing was, it was the loyalty. So when he did the loyalty, I'm like, bro, you gotta realize they, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, they
we
trying to
get-
put pressure. I'm just like,
Yeah.
bro, like,
So
you see the facility, bro? Like,
he was like, all right, go
you
ahead
see
on.
the sun and all that.
He was
So-
like, go ahead on and call him. I'm like, no, that's your job.
I'm like,
he
bro,
called, man.
I'm
When
like,
they-
man, fuck it, man. I'm
Man,
like,
listen.
we're gonna go to Montana then, right? I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's what it
about to blow it again like I did at El Cerrito. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, man, I'm not. It's over. Like,
So listen, so he do that. As soon as he said it, it wasn't even 2 minutes later. That shit was all over the way up.
yeah, so,
Committed to
Sayeed
something.
Pridgett, else readers, she's committed to the University of Montana. Blah 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 blah. Man, they sending hat shit. We all the shit. We do all that.
So this still before your first game,
Yeah.
your senior year. Okay, so you signed early.
that's not really. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
how I rip.
Okay.
So now they come.
Is it,
to-
hold on, before you get into that, is there a reason why you wanted to sign early? You wanted to just get it over with, or
Yeah.
We didn't have no. We didn't make no decision because of the loyalty. They
It was-
committed
once-
themselves to us.
Once he hit me with the facts and all that, like my mom was like, yeah, that is the right decision.
You know what I mean? Like unlike a lot of other players.
Because before Montana, before Nevada, it was my eyes on St. Mary's.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
But they was
I wanted
like-
to go
No,
to St.
before
Mary's.
that, Syracuse. You know, he had
my
action at
dream school
Syracuse.
was Syracuse.
Yes, he had action there too. I was like, oh, no,
Syracuse,
you're not going.
Syracuse started talking to me at the end.
Yeah. I was like, no, you're not doing that.
Too far.
Too far for me to get away. And I knew the history of how they treated West Coast kids on the East Coast. So I wasn't with that. But St. Mary's, Randy Bennett dropped the ball.
Yeah, that was
Why you
wrong.
say that?
I was going over there for sure.
Yeah, he had it.
But like Randy, like he wait towards the end to offer everybody, and just like
I don't know if this is a fact, because so when I was at Mac, they were recruiting me, Dame, and Will also. I wanted to go to St. Mary's bad. I was sold. But they had the black dude from Australia, and this is the same year Dellavedova was coming in. They was bringing in Dellavedova and 3 other point guards. So we would all been freshmen together. So then Will signs early to Montana, because me and Will was going to go together. We was thinking about going somewhere together.
yeah.
So when Will signed to Montana early, he wasn't supposed to do that. Will straight up said initially, I'm not going to Montana. So they started recruiting me. So I'll start talking to Tinko and stuff at the time, because at the time Tinko was still there. So I'm talking to Tinko a little bit. Dame, we don't know what Dame is doing. And then Will signs.
So when Dame was doing there, so Dame had action going to UCLA.
Dame and Powell?
Oh no, you're talking about
I'm talking about Dame and Powell. Yeah, I'm talking about Dame and Powell. Yeah, because we all at Mac together.
Right.
So they come in our open gyms, whatever, talking to all of us. And once Will said no, they started talking to me and Dame. And I'm like, Will went on his visit. And mind you, I went to Amador Valley before Mac. Yeah. So Will think is, bro, I'm not going out there with all them white people, bro. Sure. I ain't never, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, bro, you gonna love. I didn't been to Amador. I'm like, bro, you gonna love that shit. I start taking him to parties out there, everything. Like, bro, this was like, you gonna be a god on campus, bro. Like, I went through that shit. And that's how it happened. So with St. Mary's, I just feel like I got weird relationships with St. Mary's, Cal. I just feel like the way they treat the homegrown talent, I just feel
St.
a way
Mary's, Cal.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
So-
Sac State.
So that's another thing is about him going to Montana. So Trav was supposed to get the job.
Yeah,
Trav was going to go to
so
Cal.
yeah, think about this. Let's go back a little bit. Trav was assistant at Cal
Okay.
first.
Okay.
when Montgomery was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I thought I was going there too.
So Trav actually started recruiting Sayeed when he was in the 8th grade.
He was at Cal?
yeah.
Okay, got you.
That's how long Montana had been recruiting him since he was in the 8th grade.
Me and Oscar Freire, let him rest in peace. He had committed to Cal.
Who?
Oscar Freire.
The one that
I know that name. The one from Moreau.
Catholic,
Yeah, he got killed in a car accident.
Right. Him and his sister or something?
Yeah, and his girlfriend.
He had
Right.
committed to Cal.
Yeah.
And they was trying to look for another player. I was like, that's my boy.
He ended up finishing up at Grand Canyon,
Grand
right?
Canyon,
He ended up going to Grand Canyon. Okay, right.
So that's when we was kind of.
So how close are y'all the same age?
Yeah, we saying he's on my rebel team too.
Okay.
He ended up leaving to go to Soldiers though, but yeah, we was all together. We was
Okay.
playing for Mel.
Okay.
Yeah, we was all.
So y'all was pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
our team was solid.
Cool thing about it is the one we talking about Banks.
Mm-hmm.
He was on that team too.
He played against y'all. Remember?
He played with us, me, him, and Oscar.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but when
He
y'all
played
won
against us too though.
in the
He was-
AAU. Yeah,
He was with Soldiers
And
he was with,
Mustafa, another guy named
and he was
Mustafa.
with D1 All Stars.
yeah, D1 All Stars. Yeah, so we get to do that. So now you got Trav and them coming to Montana. They coming to El Cerrito. So me, ain't no cut on what we got going on. He bullshitting.
Grade wise again?
No, he bullshitting. No, he hooping now. He on. He the shit. He hooping ahead of the game. So when they ain't doing this, I'm like, man, get his bitch ass up out of that book. He ain't doing what he's supposed to do. He like, man, shut up, man. He talking to me, shut up. So get your punk ass out there and do what you got to do. When I say that to him, he turn up. Then when he do his he come back
Look at you, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
Go get the ball, get a jab.
and so now
Bro.
Trav and
up.
the cops and they're looking at me like
Like,
they like
they
out of the
talking
game,
crazy
out
to
of the
each
game
other.
like you crazy. They don't know they in for a rude awakening.
Right.
Yeah, they don't.
So
Like he said, I'm like, man, shut up, bro. Be quiet. Everybody, but people like, he talking to a dad like that. Yeah, they like,
So
this
you gotta-
this my guy though.
Right,
So,
now
like,
you gotta do
Yeah,
it.
I'm saying that, but I know.
I got the same relationship with my dad, too,
I know
though.
where the line is. I know where
You're
that.
never gonna cross that line.
Feel me? Like
Yeah.
I might
But
go out
you
there,
can
shut up.
But see, you know what? I'm glad you said that before we get into his senior year more in depth, because me and my pops got the same kind of relationship, and it's never gonna be disrespect, but he's gonna allow me to get my shit off and say how I feel, and I feel like that is a dynamic that black men don't have because of the ego. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, I'm the dad, but it's like, nah, I'm a man too, technically at this point, or you raising me to be a grown man.
actually, he'll tell you right now what I tell him and his brother. You got freedom range you want to, but you got to make sure you got everything possible or not, because there's gonna be consequences behind it.
Yep.
Like everybody though. I be telling everybody, all the homies, they be like, bro, that's your dad you talking to? Like, yeah, like, but it is not how y'all hear it. It's not
ain't-
how it is.
exactly.
Bro. Like, because like they be like, you be cussing on your pops, like, yeah, I
Right.
cuss, but like, I know where to what to say and
Yeah.
what not to say. I might say shit, I might say fuck, damn, but like, I'm not about to get crazy.
Right.
That's
I know.
just-
Trust me. If anybody know, I know exactly what you mean.
Everybody be like, damn, that's crazy. I'm like, that's my dad, my brother, my
My
best
best
friend,
friend,
all
yeah.
in one, dog.
Yeah.
That you don't get, like, feel me? So like.
So let's talk about the senior year and how well did y'all do? I heard. I mean, obviously y'all started off slow, right?
Yeah, we
Until
started-
Trey got eligible.
We started off real slow, This is funny. I said that. So let's talk about this. Freshman year, we lose the Legions in the championship. They beat us all 3 games that season. That's when they have Bird, Mario, Beefy, Jermaine. That's his name at Montana, Beefy. And then my sophomore year, we sweep them all 3 games.
Okay.
And then my junior year, we sweep them all 3 games. So then my senior year, they sweep us all 3 games. I'm 6-6 with them, bro.
Who do they have at this point?
Akinjo,
Okay.
Jamario,
They had him though.
B. McGee. We just every time we played them, we would lose in like the last 2 minutes of the game every time. They just had more of a team. Yeah, they had more of a team than us.
But they took it away from him. Trying to get him in foul, to get him bullshit foul. But that's how the game goes.
Right. That's a part of
So
it.
they doing that, man. He killing now. So I mean,
we killed that year.
every gym he went to, it was packed. I don't give it if it was somebody else's game, or St. Mary's, it was at.
We had my senior year. We opened up at B High.
So Mount Eden is good. Mount Eden is good. His senior year too, they
I had
decent.
30 to open up the season against B High, like 8 dunks, going crazy though.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, it's like lost, win. We always take it 2 steps back. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
Trey, hurry up, bro. Like, come
Like
on.
one thing about it, I can say with him coming to basketball is like how he is now. Everybody think how he is. He's still an underdog. He's been underdog from the time he started picking up basketball.
Right.
Yeah, that shit.
So when he going to his senior year, like I said, they killing everybody. They won game from state finals with the semifinals. They lose to Juniper.
We lost to
Junipero.
No, we lost to
Sarah.
Sarah.
Well, the school's on Junipero, but it's Sarah.
Okay, okay.
Where Tom Brady went to school. at.
We
So
lost
they do that.
We
So,
blew that, bro, to go to state, bro. We was up 20 at half, bro.
And lost.
yeah, they was up.
We got about like 12 charge calls in the second half, bro. The whole team though. They got me up out of there though. I didn't even play like the last 4 minutes.
That's crazy.
So now it's over with that. Now we headed to Montana.
Yeah.